The team is always pushing for improvement to bring those crucial wins back to South Beach, and it looks like we've got some exciting news ahead as we prepare for the rest of the 2024 season. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insider updates on the Miami Dolphins. Now, let's get into it. First up, the man of the moment, Tua Tagovailoa. After being sidelined due to his latest concussion in Week 2, Tua's recovery has been progressing well. According to insider reports, Tua has been cleared to engage in all normal activities, just no football yet. That's a big step forward for our franchise QB, and while he's still on injured reserve, this news signals that his return to the field later this season is very much on the horizon. The Dolphins' medical staff is taking a cautious approach, which is understandable considering Tua's injury history. The earliest we could see him back is Week 8, but that depends on his continued progress. Until then, the team is riding with Skylar Thompson, Tyler Huntley, and Tim Boyle as our options at quarterback. Skylar, as we know, has been limited in practice due to rib issues, which leaves the door wide open for Huntley to get the start in Week 4 against the Titans. The good news: Tua's recovery is on track, and barring any setbacks, we could see him leading the charge before the season's over. But let's talk about the upcoming matchup against the Tennessee Titans. This game could be a turning point for the Dolphins, who are sitting at 1-2 and looking to bounce back after a tough loss to Seattle in Week 3. The Titans are 0-3, and Miami has a golden opportunity to capitalize on that. Key to victory: running the ball and controlling the clock. The Titans' defense has been porous, allowing 124 rushing yards per game, and with a dynamic backfield like ours, despite Raheem Mostert being limited in practice, we need to pound the ground game and keep their defense on their heels. But it doesn't stop there. One of the biggest questions heading into Monday Night Football is the quarterback decision. Coach McDaniel has kept his cards close to his chest about who will start. Skylar Thompson, who's been with the team for 3 years, didn't inspire much confidence last week, and there's growing pressure to start Tyler Huntley. Huntley brings mobility and playmaking ability to the table, something we've seen in his time backing up Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. His dual-threat capabilities could be just what the Dolphins need to jumpstart this offense. Tim Boyle is also an option, but all signs point to Huntley possibly getting the nod. What do you guys think? Should Coach McDaniel take a gamble with Huntley or ride it out with Thompson? Let me know in the comments. Defense is another major focus, especially when it comes to stopping the run. We've seen some flashes of brilliance from the defensive line, especially from veterans like Calais Campbell and Zach Sealer. However, we've also struggled in tackling and gap integrity, allowing 112 rushing yards per game. That's not where we want to be, especially with Derrick Henry coming into town. Our defense has to tighten up. Missing tackles and losing gap control is something that's been hurting us this season. Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator, and Austin Clark, our defensive line coach, have been vocal about the need for improvement. This is a must-fix if we want to compete not only this week but for the rest of the season. One bright spot has been the second-half defense. We've been able to hold teams in check after halftime, only allowing 1 touchdown in the second half through Week 3. Players like Jalen Ramsey and Jaylon Phillips have been stepping up, and Chop Robinson has been an absolute beast with his pass rush win rate ranking 5th in the NFL. The challenge now is maintaining that defensive intensity for all 4 quarters. If we can put together a full game on defense and win the turnover battle against a mistake-prone Titans offense led by young QB Will Levis, Miami should have the edge. Looking at the injury report, it's not all good news. Left tackle Terron Armstead and cornerback Kendall Fuller are both in the concussion protocol and missed practice, which could hurt our offensive line and secondary. Linebacker David Long also sat out practice with a hamstring injury, and several other key players, including Skylar Thompson and Raheem Mostert, were limited. On the Titan side, star defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons and cornerback Chidobe Awuzie were both absent from practice, which could weaken their defensive front and open opportunities for our offense. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Tua's long-term future. It's hard to imagine Tua walking away from football after everything he's been through. ESPN analyst and former defensive back Louis Riddick talked about how tough it is for a player to step away from the game they love. Riddick explained that football becomes a part of who you are, and despite the risks, players like Tua are wired to fight through adversity. With Tua signing a 4-year, $212 million extension, he's set financially, but his love for the game seems to drive him more than anything else. If his recovery goes smoothly, there's a strong belief he'll be back on the field, ready to lead the Dolphins to the postseason. As we approach Week 4, this Titans game is a must-win to keep our season alive. The Dolphins need to tighten up their defense, make the right call at quarterback, and most importantly, control the game from the start. If we can do that, there's no reason why we can't turn this season around. I want to know what you guys think. Who should start at QB? Huntley, Thompson, or Boyle? Can our defense step up and stop Derrick Henry? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And hey, if you made it this far, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for all the latest Miami Dolphins news and updates. Let's go Fins!